A company sells this product at rupees 10 per unit. Fixed cost is for the company are rupees 35,000, and the variable costs are estimated to run 30% of the total revenue. Okay. So fixed cost here is 35,000. Variable cost we'll calculate later because variable cost is given as a percentage of total revenue. Selling price per unit or P is given to be rupees 10 per unit, right? And fixed cost is 35,000 rupees. You need to calculate the total cost function first. In order to calculate the total cost function, you first need fixed cost is given. You need the total variable cost. Okay. So I say let X be the output. That is number of units produced. Right. So therefore, what is the total revenue? Total revenue rupees 10 per unit is the price per unit. X units of output. That means if you are producing X units, you are selling X units also. So total revenue will be 10X. And if you see, it is given that variable cost is 30% of total revenue. Variable cost, let's say total variable cost. %30 of total revenue. 30% of 10X, which is equal to 3X, the total variable cost. So therefore, first question, the total cost function. CX is fixed cost plus the variable cost, right? This is your total cost function. First question is answered. Next is total revenue function. We have written above total revenue is 10X. So total revenue function. Let's call it RX is equal to 10X. This is a total revenue function. Third question. The company must sell to recover its fixed cost. That means we need to find out the break-even point, right? The quantity the company must sell to recover its fixed cost is CX is equal to RX is given by when the total cost function is equal to revenue function, we can recover the total cost. So 35,000, put the values here, 10X. So you're getting an equation here, simple equation, which you can solve to get X is equal to 5,000 units. Okay. So you can find X to be 5,000 units, and this is the break-even point. That is at this 5,000 units, you can recover your total. Okay, it is given total recover fixed cost. Okay. Okay, then this should not be CX is equal to RX. The quantity the company must sell to recover its fixed cost. Fixed cost is 35,000. Revenue function is 10X is equal to fixed cost. This is now this is okay. 10X is equal to, if you see the word, the phrase fixed cost is there, not the total cost. 35,000 for the fixed cost. So therefore X is equal to 3,500 units. Okay, so that is your answer. Moving on to the next question. Number 4. A company sells its product at the rate of 6 per unit. So price per unit is 6 per unit. The variable costs are estimated to run 25% of the total revenue received. Okay. If the fixed cost of the product are 4,500, so fixed cost is given to you 4,500. Okay. And the variable cost, it is given that total variable cost is equal to 25% of total revenue. So if we can find out total revenue, we can find out the total cost. Total revenue. In order to find out the total revenue, we must first take X as the output. Let X be the number of units produced. Therefore, total revenue function Rx is equal to price per unit is 6. Number of units produced is X. So 6X is the total revenue. Okay. Therefore, what is the total variable cost? It is 25% of total revenue. 25% of 6X, which you can cancel here. You get 3X by 2. The total variable cost, Vx. Okay. So therefore, what is the total cost function? Cx is equal to fixed cost plus total variable cost. Okay. This is your total cost function. Now let's answer the questions. First question, total revenue function. We have found above. Total revenue function. Rx is equal to 6X. Second question, total cost function. We have found above. Is the total cost function. Okay. Third question, the profit function. Very simple. Profit function Px is revenue minus cost. Total revenue is 10x, 6x, 4,500 plus 3x by 2. Open the brackets. So it's 6x minus 3x by 2. Take the LCM, you get 9x by 2. The total profit function. Okay. Fourth one. Fourth question is break-even point. For break-even point, total cost must be equal to total revenue. Cx is equal to Rx. Put the value here. Cx is 45. Okay, this is I think 45,000. Okay, this is 45,000. Let's change all this. I think I have made a mistake in writing here in the question. Okay, this should be 45,000. Okay, let's change this here. This is 45,000, 45,000, 45,000, and this is 45,000. So this is total cost function is 45,000 plus 3x by 2 is equal to total revenue function is 6x. Now you need to solve this equation to get the value of x. So 6x minus 3x by 2 is equal to 45,000. Okay, so that means now you can take the LCM to get this as 9x by 2 is equal to 45,000. So you get 9x is equal to 90,000. So you get x is equal to 90,000 by 9, which is equal to 10,000 units. This is the break-even point. At 10,000 units of production, the total cost function is equal to total revenue function. Okay. Next question is the number of units the company must sell to recover its fixed cost. When can it recover its fixed cost? To recover fixed cost only. Total revenue must be equal to total fixed cost only, or let's say only fixed cost. Total revenue is 6x. Total fixed cost is 45,000. Now you can get the value of x from here. So this is 7,500 units. So when 100 units are produced, you can recover your entire fixed cost. Okay. Can I proceed to the next one? Okay. Next one is number 5. The fixed cost of a new product is rupees 30,000 and the variable cost per unit is 800. If the demand function is, now this time the demand function is given, find the break-even values. So here fixed cost is given to you, 30,000. Variable cost, 800 per unit, right? So if I say let X be the number of units produced, therefore total variable cost Vx is 800x, right? Total fixed cost, total cost function Cx is equal to fixed cost plus total variable cost. This is your total cost function. Also, what is given to you is the demand function. Demand function is given in terms of X. $4,500 minus 100x. Demand function means the price per unit, right? It is given in terms of output. So therefore, what should be the revenue function? Total revenue function. This is the price per unit, demand function. Therefore, total revenue function is equal to x into px is equal to x, and px is 4500 minus 100x. It will be 4500x minus 100x square. Let's write it as Rx. So total revenue function Rx is 4500x minus 100x square. You need to find out the break-even values. Okay, so for break-even point, Cx must be equal to Rx. Cx is, and Rx is, okay, express this as a quadratic. Take everything on one side. Okay. $3,700x. Now what can you do? You can take 100 out. So ultimately the quadratic that you are getting here is, and now we can factorize this. The factors are 25 into 12. So we get x minus 25 into x minus 12 is equal to 0. That means either x is equal to 25 units or x is equal to 12 units. You're getting two answers, two break-even points. At 12 units also you can recover your fixed cost, your total, not fixed cost, you can recover your total cost. And at 25 units also you can recover your total cost. Okay, so two break-even points. Moving on to the next one. Number 6. Given here Cx, that means the total cost function is given. And the total revenue function is given. Okay. And the company sells X units of a particular product. Okay. So output is equal to X. First question is find the break-even point. So for break-even point, Cx is equal to Rx. Okay, so you have 5x plus 350 is equal to 50x minus x square. So if you express this as a quadratic, you get x square minus 45x plus 350 is equal to 0. Now this can be factorized as minus 35 and minus 10. X into x minus 35 minus 10 into x minus 35. We're getting x minus 35 into x minus 10 is equal to 0. That means when x is equal to 35 units, 2 break-even points you are getting, or x is equal to 10 units. So there are 2 break-even points. That answers the first question. Second question is the values of x that produces a profit. Now, which values of x will produce a profit? First of all, you will have to find out the profit function. Px, you know, is Rx minus Cx, revenue minus cost. Okay, put the values. 50x minus x square minus 5x plus 350. Simplify this. So you get here minus x square plus 45x minus 350. This is the profit function. Now, what are the values of x that will produce a profit? Values of x that produce profit is given by Px greater than 0. Only when the profit is greater than 0, only then you can realize profits. So minus x square plus 45x minus 350 is greater than 0. You can take minus common, or you can factorize here also, no problem. Now, because you multiply both sides by minus 1, the inequality sign will reverse. And now you can factorize this. Factors are 35 and 10. Okay. So what are the values? X minus 35 into x minus 10 means take the lower value. That means to produce profits, the output must be between 10 units and 35 units. Okay, that's it. Third part. For third part here is the values of x that result in a loss. So for the values of x that result in a loss, profit function must be less than 0, right? That means now what is the profit function we have found above? Minus x square plus 45x minus 350 is less than 0. That means minus x square minus 45x plus 350 is less than 0. Yes, what happened? minus x square plus 45x. Yes, this is correct. Minus x square, yes, this is okay. So you get here. Now you multiply both sides by minus 1. X square minus 45x plus 350 is greater than 0. Again, you factorize as you factorize above. X minus 10 into x minus 35 is greater than 0. That means x is greater than 35 units or x is less than 10 units, right? So in order to make loss, the number of units produced is either has to be less than 35 units or it has to be less than 10 units. Okay. So that's it for this sum. We move on to the last sum of this part, number 7. The pricing policy of a company follows the demand function. So given P is equal to dx. This is the demand function. Something in terms of x. Dx being the price per unit. Okay, since P is equal to dx, obviously dx is the price per unit when x units are demanded. After studying the market trends, the company determines the price function is given by dx is equal to 1000 minus 2x, where dx is equal to 1000 minus 2x. Okay. If the product is to be marketed, the company will incur a fixed cost of 30,000. So fixed cost is given to you as 30,000 and 300 for each unit that is produced. That means the variable cost is 300 per unit. Rupees 300 per unit. At what sales level can the company expect to recover its costs? That means recovered not its fixed cost, but is recovered its total cost. That means you need to find out the break-even point. Okay, so for break-even point, Cx must be equal to Rx. That means total cost function must be equal to total revenue function. If you find out the total cost function and the total revenue function equated, you will get the break-even point. That is, at what sales level the company will recover its fixed cost. Let us first find out a total cost function. Total variable cost is 300x. Therefore, total cost function, let's write this as Vx. Total cost function Cx is equal to fixed cost plus 300x, total variable cost. This is the total cost function. We'll now proceed to find out the total revenue function. Total revenue function is Px, price per unit into number of units produced. Price per unit x and price per unit is given to be dx. And what is dx? 1000 minus 2x, which is equal to 1000x minus 2x square. Okay, this is your Rx. For break-even point, or for to recover its fixed cost, to recover its total cost, to recover its costs, Cx must be equal to Rx. Okay, so now you put the values here. Cx we have found above to be 30,000 plus 300x is equal to total revenue function is 1000x minus 2x square. Okay, and we will need to solve this quadratic to get the value of x at which the fixed cost, the total cost is recovered. Okay, so you have 2x square plus 300x minus 1000x plus 30,000 equal to 0. So you're getting here 2x square minus 700x plus 30,000. Now you can take the LCM minus 350x plus 15,000. You get x square minus 350x plus 15,000 is equal to 0. Now you factorize this, 350 are the factors. So that means x minus 50 into x minus 300 is equal to 0. That means either x is equal to 50 units or x is equal to 300 units. So two break-even points, 50 units and 300 units. Okay. Any question? Just to introduce you to the next section, you have the concept of average and marginal cost in the next section. Okay, if you see here, average cost is equal to total cost divided by quantity produced or demanded. So average cost function is given by total cost function divided by number of units produced or number of units demanded. Remember this. Okay. Also note that average cost also represent the cost per unit. That is cost of producing a certain unit of a product is given by the average cost. Okay. Now there's a difference between price per unit and cost per unit. Cost per unit means the cost at which it is being produced, cost price, and price per unit means selling price. Okay, selling price per unit. So this is the basic difference. The average cost represents your cost per unit or cost price per unit, and P, the small p, represent the selling price per unit. So that is the basic difference. Remember, okay. Marginal cost. Marginal cost is obtained by differentiating the total cost with respect to x, that is number of units produced. Okay, and marginal cost, if you see, is also the rate of change. In other words, that is, if dc dx is equal to L at x is equal to A, that means for every 1 unit, for increase in every 1 unit of the product, the additional cost incurred is L. That means from 35 units, say, to 36 units, if I produced, the cost is the additional cost. That is, so if the cost here was, let's say, if the cost here was C, then the cost here will be C plus L. That is what it means. Okay, so change in cost which is equal to L. Remember this, okay? So this is given by dc dx. Okay, this L, this increment, is nothing but dc dx. Okay, next is relation between average cost and marginal cost. This is something that is very, very important. The deduction also comes in your exam. Okay, So what is the relation between average cost and marginal cost? If you see, I have started here with average cost. Average cost is C by X. I have differentiated average cost. Okay, I have differentiated here on the right hand side. I have differentiated by U by V rule. Okay, so I have got this. That means DCDX is the marginal cost. So I put it here, and average cost is C by X. Yes, so I have put C by X is equal to AC and DCDX is equal to MC. Okay, so I get here DDX is equal to DDX of AC is equal to MC minus AC by X. This is a very important relation, the deduction of which comes in your exam. Okay, relation between marginal and average cost. Next is when marginal cost, we consider three cases. That is only considering this part, MC minus AC. What if MC minus AC is greater than 0? That is MC is greater than AC. Then what will happen? In such a case, if MC minus AC is greater than 0, then the average cost will be positive. That means this AC is an increasing function. AC is an increasing function. We've already discussed this. If AC is an increasing function, that means average cost increases as number of units produced X increases. Okay. Next, if MC minus AC is equal to 0, that is marginal cost is equal to average cost, then what happens? The average cost becomes 0. And if the average cost becomes 0, that means the average cost is a constant. Only then can the derivative be 0, right? So average cost is constant. If the average cost is constant, means as much as the number of units you produce, it does not matter, average cost remains the same. The cost per unit does not vary much. That means if you are producing let's say 50 units, and if you now increase your production to 70 units, 80 units, the average cost remains the same, constant. Okay, this happens only when marginal cost is equal to average cost. And finally, you have marginal cost less than average cost, that is MC minus AC is less than 0. In such a case, what happens? The derivative is less than 0. That means this is a decreasing, average cost is a decreasing function. That means average cost decreases with the number of units produced. That means as you increase your production from 50 units to 60 units to 70 units to 80 units and so on, your average cost keeps decreasing. Okay, so that is what you must remember. So I'll stop here today.